everybody. How is everyone? Hi. Wait, let me say hi to everyone. I'm so proud of myself. I've been going live at 7 p.m. So my next goal is 6:30. Fire Butterfly, Darren, and Namhar, Leah, MG, Bang Luna, the Bio Explorer, Cyan, Halina, Cindy, Be Obsessed, Jin, Elaine. Oh, Elaine is in X. Hi. We have somebody from X. Tisa, PZ, Fire Butterfly is also on Twitch. Jelma, Marina, Z, Dodger Girl, also on Twitch. Evie on Twitch, Kathy, Elizabeth, Rhea, Celeste also on Twitch. Wow, there's a lot of you on Twitch. Melanie, Pen, Kemuning, Z, Orchids, Diana. My dog wants to say hi. He's so ready. Sandra, Weavers just released an announcement. Okay, let's look at it together. Hi, Shell. I haven't seen the announcement. Okay, what is it? Is it about the single? Wait, baby. He's like, pay attention to me. Give me a scratch. So confused sometimes. Okay, so what is the announcement about? Pretty puppy, yes, he's so pretty. Did you see the latest album 50/50 situation update? Well, there's a lot going on. Okay, let me see the announcement first. The only announcement I'm seeing is J Hope. J Hope's tour. Is that it? Is there anything else? Offline event. That's the only thing that I am seeing. Is there anything else outside of here? Oh, Darren. Oh, Pine Top GMA is also Darren. Okay, so you're in both places. D1 countdown to live concerts. So okay, that's the only announcement that I have. So I'm not sure if there's anything else that I should be looking into. So there's the special offline event, the Hope on the Stage in Seoul tour. Sorry, J Hope tour, Hope on the Stage in Seoul. And then Sweet Dreams release. That's the only announcement I got. Is there anything else? Okay, so Diana said the three girls that left 50/50 are going back to the giver that abused them in their claim. I only got J Hope. Okay, so let's talk about that in a bit. My goal is to be able to go through at least the three main topics that I wanted to cover before we go off track first. Okay, let's, where am I? Where do I want to, what do you want to, so there are three main things that I want to cover. First is the HYBE 2024 highlights, the earnings call, the conference call, which is, by the way, available for everybody to listen to. They translated it in English, so if you want to hear from it directly from them, you can do so. It's about an hour and 18 minutes of recording. You're so ambitious, Faye. So that's one. And then I want to cover this new development about Kakao, which was published by Top Daily News, which is kind of funny to me, but kind of, I feel like it's going to explain a lot of the things that they are doing. And then I actually wanted to discuss. So I really want to do this, people. Hi, Sam L. I really, Leah, hi. Thea, So I really want to go to South Korea with you guys. I want to go on tour. Let's go to different BTS venues that they've like BTS locations in Korea. So I really am planning on that. I want to do that. If they have an activity in the last quarter, then I want to go there, and I hope that some of you can actually join. And then we'll just do like go to different places that are related to BTS. And I know that some of you have been there already, but maybe it's going to be more fun if there's many of us, right? So I want to go through some of the places that I want to visit. And actually, that includes Busan as well and Daegu. So okay, so let's do Hybe first. Is that good for you, or do you want something else? 20. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Team Spirit Dear. Dear. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Am I pronouncing it correctly? Team Esprit Dear or Dare or Dear. So I hope I pronounced that correctly. Thank you so much. Okay, um, let's do the biggest the biggest the earnings call first. Okay, so I guess everyone knows by now that the biggest shock that everybody got is that BTS have actually registered their biggest earning yet, but they actually lost money. Net profit is a loss, and we're gonna go through why. So a lot of people are, the haters are laughing at them, saying that they're mismanaging their money or whatever. I'll go through the summary first, the highlights, and then let's discuss. And maybe as we go through it, we're going to discuss and touch on some points, some analysis as well. Okay. So the total revenue, so no taxes paid, no taxes yet, no whatever, just the gross revenue. It is two this is in trillion, so 2 trillion 254. I always am confused whenever it is one. 2 trillion 254 billion 540,000. This is their highest to date. And so everybody's like wondering, if it is their highest today, why did they lose money? And then from that, artist development is 1.4. Artist direct involvement and artist indirect involvement is a little less. It's 808 million. Okay, but if you see here, the net profit is negative 3,300. So everyone is so confused as to why this is happening. Why did you lose money if you registered the highest gross revenue yet? Okay, so in their report, they actually split it in. Sorry, they split it into five: artist direct involvement, artist indirect involvement, new technology, HYBE America, and the future. That's not, I put in HYBE America twice. So their future plans. That's how they split their reporting in the conference call. So again, this is available for everybody to listen to. If you want, there is a an English translation. So you just have to bear the Korean first, the Koreans that are talking, which is the CEO and the CFO, and then in between them, a woman translates what they're saying. Okay, first they're in the artist direct involvement. Hi, Gemini and Iris Matthew. Okay. So one major thing is that not majority, all of the sales when it comes to albums and stuff, they base it off circle chart, not anywhere else. So whenever they make the report, the number that you will see is actually based on circle chart. And we've discussed the difference. The major edge that circle chart has over others is that in circle chart they count the purchase of the person, not what they shipped. So even if they shipped 1 million copies, if only 800,000 purchased based on the barcodes and scans and receipts, then they will refer to the actual sale. not the actual number of albums that were bought by customers. Okay, so in recorded music, a total of 28.3 million albums were sold, and this translates to 40% of albums sold in Circle Chart. So they take the majority of the sales in Circle Chart. Okay, that's a big number actually. The biggest contributors are 17 and Hypen and TXT, because they are the ones that had the most amount of albums sold. So for 17, they are the big winner. They this is the second year where they sold a total of 10 million copies of their album. So based on Circle Chart, okay, so this is actual scanned, based on barcodes and all. And then Hypen, a total of 5.45, and I think it's 5.15 if I hear it correctly, for TXT. So they are the best, the biggest contributors when it comes to sales. They also mentioned New Jeans. They sold a total of 3 million, and they are the biggest when it comes to girl group. Um, so Bang Luna said, so these three are the big. Yes, they are the biggest. So, and then when it comes to streaming, they have been they have been the all HYBE artists have been streamed 5.3 billion times. Okay, and that amounts to, this is actually pretty impressive, they have 3.5% of total global Spotify streaming. So for you to even get inside the, like, for you to even be accounted for 1%, and for them to be 3.5% of total streams, that's pretty big. So it's pretty impressive actually. And this is a big jump in terms of streams, because they, as you know, for when prior to the pandemic, BTS really heavily relied on sales, and then during the pandemic and all the way after the pandemic, BTS actually went ahead with the sales. Like they jumped in terms of streams. And that has been the major lift. That's what's actually carrying BTS members to Billboard Hot 100 and in other ranking outside of South Korea. It's the streams. So they really managed to advance like greatly in the streams. Okay. Next, so they mentioned specifically RM, Jimin, V, and Jungkook. These three they specifically mentioned because they got the most amount of streams. And of course, I'm not gonna forget Jin, because he had a major release. So for this four, RM's so they were specifically mentioned because they entered Billboard Hot 100, and as you know, with a lack of airplay and spins, then they really relied heavily on streams. So they delivered on streams. For RM, it was the Never Play with Megan Thee Stallion, and then the rest they're solos. Okay, so all right. So these are the biggest contributors when it comes to streams. And I think that's what's going to be the future trend. They also mentioned, I mean, streaming for artists from Asia to really make it big in the US, or at the very least be recognized or enter the charts. It will really have to be the streams. They also mentioned Le Seraphim. So this year they had two entries inside Billboard Hot 100, Crazy and Easy. Crazy actually managed to stay for 2 weeks. Easy stayed for 1 week. But this is a huge jump considering they don't have a US promotion. And they are going to release their next album. I'm very, very excited. I think they're going to make a major push to the US, which they actually confirmed. They said that the last concert tour of Les Seraphim was actually 2023, and in 2025 they're going to have a world tour. I hope world tour means it includes North America. Okay. They also mentioned I'll It for their magnetic 100 entry. So they are the only act from South Korea, possibly the only act from Asia who the fastest act from Asia who managed to enter Billboard Hot 100 from the day of their debut. It took them about 3 weeks to get inside Billboard Hot 100. So Billboard has not confirmed, but so far, unless anybody can prove otherwise, they actually hold that record. Okay. One question here: will any other K-pop act have ticket sales when BTS tours again? Let's see. Okay, so next is concerts. So they're done with album sales. They're done with streams. They go to concerts. They had a total of 147 concerts in 2024 and 25 fan meetings. And again, this is the highest concert sales of all time. Okay, highest ever, because they had more groups contributing to the gross ticket sales. And the top three leading 17, Hypen, and TXT. So this is the big three in terms of sales and in terms of concerts in 2024. In terms of streaming, it's still BTS. Okay. Okay, so that was the artist direct involvement. Let's go to the indirect involvement. Okay, eyelid fighting. I love them so much. Where is that? Eyelid fighting. Yeah. Okay, so for merchandising and licensing, the big winner is light sticks. Any kind of concert related merch, that is still where they are getting their biggest sales when it comes to merchandising. But outside of that, the biggest contributor are the brats, BT21. So they were the first one mentioned. They The wording is that they were pleasantly surprised to see a huge contribution from their licensing, and that is BT21 and the Tiny Tan. So these two are the big contributors. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys know about this running joke between Tiny Tan and BT21, but the BT21 fan base is actually accusing Tiny Tan of being um, nepo babies. Okay, so Carla Girl is asking Brown Nuna, right? So Carla Girl is asking, so does that mean it took three groups to match BTS? Three groups aren't enough, and I am going to expound on that later. But in terms of contribution in sales and and concerts, yes, it took three groups with the support of others. But in terms of general contribution, no, all of them put together can still match the height of the contribution of BTS. I firmly believe that HYBE should buy BT21 from Line. So as you know, BT21 is actually co-owned by Line. So I think HYBE should either buy Line or buy the BT21 license, because I think they can do more with it, and they can also earn more if they're going to buy it. Okay. Lisa's light stick is a hazard. And then others also contributed, which is like the mini teen of 17. So this is their version of BT21. Oh, that's so bad. Like this, their own animated characters. Okay. Mini teen is how they call it. And of course, Le Seraphim also have Films Club. This is so cute. So I have just registered as an official fan. I'm now a paying fan club member of Le Seraphim, and I'm going to buy one of them. So my bias is Yunjin, so I'm probably going to buy this. But my bias wrecker is actually Sakura. Okay. All right. So next, Next is HYBE America. This they a lot of questions were actually asked about HYBE America. But anyway, so they one of the major moves that they made is hiring Cade Hudson, which is a former CAA agent. I'm not sure for those of you who aren't from the US, you may not be familiar, but you so there are several like big management, they're not a management company, like agents, a group of agents. So and CAA is arguably the biggest. So to expand on that a little bit more, you love Sakura. So there is a difference between an agent, a manager, and a casting director. So an agent is the one that looks for work. And usually agents don't work for themselves, they work for a company, and they do need a license to actually do that. A manager is the one that takes care of you, your branding, finds like ways on how to improve your craft, whether you're a singer or you're an actor. And then the casting director, this is the person who works for the movies and TV shows, and they are the one that casts, that cast people, actors and singers and whoever. Um, okay, I have a question here. Tell me, Fairlane, does that count my three merch purchases from J Hope World Tour? I promise I'll get them tomorrow and send you pictures. Does that count my three merch purchases? I'm not quite sure if I understand your question. Does that count my three merch purchases? No. So your purchases will be 2025, not 2024, if that is what you're asking. Okay. So this guy, the one that they decided to work with, that the guy that is now working Team Esprit. Let me know if I answered your question, if that is what you're actually asking. So this guy is now working in HYBE America, with Scooter Braun and with Bang Shiuk. So his job, he used to be an agent and he used to manage big names like Britney Spears, Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga, so he's like a big deal as an agent. Like he's a good agent and one of the top ones in CAA. And I think he left CAA, managed Britney Spears for over a year, and I guess he left and now he is working for HYBE America, and his job is to look for opportunities for the different artists under HYBE America. So the big advantage is because of his network, because he's been there for so long, he knows the people to call, he can get you in the door, he can get you the phone call. So more opportunities for syncs, maybe even acting opportunities if there's anybody who wants that, new partnerships, um, so stuff like that. Okay, so this is actually a good partnership. This one I think they did it right. They are doing right by the talents of HYBE. So this is the difference between an agent and a manager. So an agent gets you the job, and then a manager prepares you for the job. Now for smaller, like if you're just starting out, usually they don't really pay attention much to this, but once you become big, then you can't just like get a manager that will also get you jobs. You need to have an agent and a manager. An agent usually gets 10% of whatever it is that you get paid, and manager, that's up in the air, anywhere between 10 to 20%. Okay. All right. One of the most famous managers is actually the manager of Eminem, because he often mentions his manager in his album. He's included his manager in his albums. So if you are an avid listener of Eminem, you probably have listened to Paul. That's the name of his manager, long time manager of Eminem. They're very loyal to each other. Okay, another acquisition that they've got, another new partnership that they are pursuing is Ryan Tedder. So they signed him and within a partnership, and he is going to help HYBE America come up with a global. boy bands. So that's the new project, and they just announced that. Okay. So they said that, of course, the debut of Cat's Eye actually taught them a lot, and they think that they can use this same template to debut more groups. And as I've said, the next one is the boy band that will be headed or co-created by Ryan Tedder. Okay. So Ryan Tedder like he is one of the best songwriters, producers of all time. I mean, all the hits that he has written for Beyonce, Okay, next is um, technology. So, and someone actually questioned this investment, but we'll get to that. One of their major thing is the supertone, which is the AI for voice. So you can copy voices. So they said that you can now use this for commercials, for drama, for other things like this. This is you can also translate. Yeah, you can use this to get the voice of an artist to sing for them to sing in other languages. So that's where they are headed. But for now, it's being used widely in the industry for drama, for movies, for dubbing, stuff like that. So they said that they now have like 500,000 users already, and they plan on going corporate, meaning they want to partner with companies instead of catering just to retail. So they said that they want to focus on games with streamlined model, meaning they want to be more picky in the games that they will publish and the games that they will develop. They also partnered with the creator of Blizzard, which again is a huge move for them because Blizzard is super successful. So if they manage to get one of the creators to partner with them, they're in the right track. They said that they have actually developed their metaverse capability, but they put all of their projects on pause in the metaverse because the market is not ready yet. But when the time comes, then they'll be ready to go in. Okay. Um, Sylvia said, "Hi, I keep thinking you're coming on at 12 on the East Coast. I hope I didn't miss much. I'll catch what I missed later." Yeah, I'm just starting, I'm trying to go earlier, to be more considerate of those who actually wanna who want to tune in, but it's too late for them. So my goal is to go 6:30. I think that's the earliest I can go. All right, now why after all these achievements, having more groups that's contributing to to their profit, why do they have a negative net profit? That is the main question. So, and this is the answer. First, and they were very pretty direct about this. BTS is in the military. So BTS couldn't do any kind of group activity. They can't tour, they can't have shows. The only thing that they did was release albums, which they pre-prepared before they went to the military. But as you know, earnings from streaming, it's not much. We've gone through the cost of that, how much you can actually earn. Even if you're going by billions, if it takes about 230 plus streams for a song to earn $1, and that $1 gets distributed to producers and songwriters and publishers and labels, then it's almost nothing. So even if they're doing really, really well, it's not a lot, right? So if for BTS to really earn, they need brand deals, they need to go on concerts, they need to do shows, they need to do partnerships, and they can only do that after they serve the military. And in 2024, it's really almost nothing. Like that is when they've sort of run out of things that they've pre-prepared, knowing that Jin will be out to take care to sort of continue and continue what where they left off basically. Okay. um and then of course there were a lot of groups that debuted and groups that they are preparing. Two of the groups that debuted, Cat's Eye and Eyelid. And as in any investment, in the beginning, there's a lot of expense, right? That is not just like not just in high, but in any kind of company, in any kind of management company. The first year, second year is always the toughest because you're spending a lot of money. Okay. Oh, sorry. He just wants to say hi. Okay, wait. All right. So that's another reason. So BTS is in the military. They couldn't serve. They couldn't do anything. They're still serving. And then the other one is that there were groups that debuted. And then the other is that new management costs money. So their partnership with Kate Hudson, with Ryan Tedder, these people are not going to work for free, especially with their caliber. You're going to have to give them a pretty attractive initial payment for them to even start, right? If like people like if we I'm sure many of you have been poached by other companies. When you sign, you usually ask for a signing bonus. So do they. If you're going to make them work, they're going to ask for a signing bonus. And then it's not just this two. They've expanded in Latin America. They've expanded the management. They want to acquire skills and networks. And if you, whenever you do a partnership with people like that, you do need to spend. Okay. So that's where a lot of their money actually are being spent on. So at the end, towards the end of the presentation, some stakeholders actually asked a question, and the first person who asked a question asked about the fan-based games and ordinary games. So as you know, BTS, not BTS, Hybe is actually betting big on games, and so this the stakeholder wanted to know, uh, she felt like it was a miss because a fan-based game, like for example in the song, we're playing games like that because we like it, because we like the group, right? So like we'll make an effort to download, play a little because we like the characters, because they remind us of BTS, and because BTS created these characters. So her question is, are you even in the right track? Because if you are building the gaming department as an independent department, you're still relying on the IP of the artist, then it's not really independent. Okay. So I hope you got that question, because I thought it was a very, very intelligent question. Because if you're going to build up this department as like its own, it shouldn't be relying on the IP of other departments. So what the CEO of Hybe said is that it's actually not like games like in the song BTS Island in the song. This is actually not considered a product of the gaming department. This is a product of the music department. So basically a part of BTS and Big Hit. Because the idea in creating things like this is so that the fans can continuously interact with the group or with the IP of the group. So they're developing ways on how to keep the presence of the artist in the life of the fan. So this is not an effort that belongs to the gaming department or the gaming arm of BTS, of Hybe, sorry, of Hybe. This is a totally separate effort. So what they're doing in the gaming department, as he has already mentioned before, is that they're looking for licenses and for games that have a greater chances of success, of having its own fandom, its own loyal players. So that's what they want to do. Okay, and then he's already mentioned that they are prepared for the metaverse and when its time comes. So they've already developed that side of their skill. Okay. But I thought it was a good question because a lot of people keep on wondering, like, what is happening with the gaming department? Okay, now the second person who asked specifically asked about BTS. So the second person who asked a question specifically asked about BTS. So her question was, how much did BTS contribute for 2024 and what is the plan for them in 2025? So obviously, this is my favorite question. Okay, so the short answer is zip. They really didn't want to disclose anything. In all fairness to the CEO, he was like, you know. So they really didn't disclose anything about the plans. They did say, like, a lot of the new groups are going to have their first fan meet, a mini tour, Les Seraphim is going to go on their first actual world tour, and then 17, TXT, and Hypen are all going to release an album and go on tour. But when it came, but with BTS, their biggest IP, nothing. They didn't say anything. They did mention that that Jin and J Hope completed their military service. That J Hope is going to go on his first world tour in 2025, which will begin in a couple of days. Well, in one day. So he said that BTS used to account for 95% of the revenue with but the company has grown. So this is what I was referring to when I said that all the three groups, the three biggest groups, TXT and Hypen and 17 put together, they still can't match the contribution of BTS during when BTS was still to I mean before they served the military, because BTS used to account for 95% and the three groups together, TXT, 17 and Hypen put together, did not contribute 95%. Right now in 2024, with no concerts, nothing really for them to earn, they still contributed 20%. Right around this was he was like he wasn't really certain, like he wasn't exact about it. He was like, maybe 20%, something like that. He didn't specifically said, he didn't, he wasn't exact about the amount. He made it sound like, I don't know, maybe 20%, something like that. So he said 20%. And this considering, remember, again, people, they did not have any concert. Everybody was serving in the military. No brand deals, nothing. So this 20% is just coming from their licenses and the streaming of their songs. And of course, like they also specifically mentioned I Am Still of Jungkook. They said that it contributed greatly to the revenue. So that helped in the 20%. Other than that, they really had no other way of earning from BTS. Okay. So they also said that BTS is the flagship artist of the company, and BTS was the one that built HYBE. HYBE equals BTS, BTS equals HYBE, and they will have and they BTS will have HYBE support regardless of what BTS actually wants to do. So a lot of people are um, making a big deal out of this statement. They are making it appear as if HYBE or the CEO of HYBE was actually demeaning the contribution of BTS, saying that even if they're not going to earn anything, that we will still support them. That's not what he meant. Number one, I think it was a strategy to sort of veer the conversation away from BTS because he didn't want to disclose anything. It was like a top secret for them, for him to really not mention anything about the BTS members' plans. He didn't say they were going to release an album when they reunite. He didn't say they were planning on a tour. Nothing, absolutely nothing. So um so I think it was his way of sort of like pushing the issue away, so that he doesn't have to further explain anything about BTS. Okay. And second is that he's just saying that even if BTS gets to a point in their career where they're just experimenting and not really thinking about earning, they will still be supporting BTS because it is BTS that created HYBE. And as he said, HYBE is equals BTS, BTS is equals HYBE. So don't pay attention to those people saying, oh, they are demeaning or they're minimizing the contribution of BTS. It wasn't. You can hear it in his voice. That wasn't what he meant. He just meant no matter what happens, he will support, HYBE will support BTS. Okay. Major observations for me, as I've said, I think I did appreciate that they didn't say anything about BTS, that they sort of kept it a secret. I like that he could have said something, especially because he's talking to stakeholders and to investors to appease everybody and put everybody and make and encourage people to invest more money. He could have dangled the carrot, right? He could have dangled the meat in this pack of hungry wolves. He could have said, yeah, they're coming back. We have big plans for BTS. Like, just hint on it. Anything that will make people invest more money. But he didn't say that. He was like, nope, I'm not going to talk about BTS. They're like, J Hope is going to do his tour. He's going to start his tour Jin released an album after his military service, and they're going to all of them will complete their military service, but he didn't say anything else. Again, I really really appreciate that. Next is that they really are making a lot of investments in the West, and I think that's really the trajectory of HYBE. I think they are South Korean market is important for them because that's their home turf, and that is where the name starts. But I think in terms of expansion, a lot of the effort is really going into the West for them to actually get Cade Hudson, which is a really really smart get. That is one ungettable get for them. So for them to get him, that is really going to widen their network, is going to strengthen, to start a lot of the partnerships that they are unable to tap. And he's really going to complement. Actually, he's going to he will be able to do or tap into a lot of opportunities that Scooter Braun isn't able to tap. Scooter Braun is big because a lot of the talents that he used to manage, like Justin Bieber, became big because he's really good at spotting talents. But spotting talents and taking care of them is really different from getting opportunities. And this is what this guy is going to do for them. So that is a good get. And I think partnering with the co-founder of Blizzard is also a good get for them. I hope that it continues. I hope that this partnership will allow them to penetrate the different industries that they are having a hard time tapping, like radio, because that's really getting in the way of the charts, and also develop more relationships within the academy because they're so isolated in the academy, and that's why they're not winning any kind of Grammy. As you know, Grammys winners are actually determined by votes. If this guy is able to use his own network, I think we're in for BTS members or other artists um, of HYBE will be it's going to be good for them basically. So I hope he's fully integrated into HYBE, and I hope that every member will actually. So the only thing that I'm not sure of is the plans of each member, right? I don't think every member of BTS is interested in going pop. I think, like for example, I think Suga just wants to stay in hip hop because that's where he's comfortable in. I think what he this is just speculation. I do not know them. But I think he is interested in doing a lot of production work, which he kind of alluded to already, but I don't think he wants to like go super pop. So, but whatever the intention or the plan of BTS members may be, I hope that they would be able to fully utilize the networks of Cade Hudson. Okay. All right, let's look for questions. I think that is the end of my presentation. Yeah, that is the end of my presentation. All right, let's look for question. I want BTS members. A Brown said, I want BTS members to have the freedom to pursue other professional interests. And for some, they have said that they want families. That can't happen if they try to do like they did in chapter one. You mean like the schedule where they're not resting and all? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I just want them to be able to do like everything that they want to do. Like if they want to experiment or whatever, I want them to be able to pursue all of that. So yes, I agree with that for sure. Um the but for those that actually like, I think JK Jungkook, I think he's very much, he kind of said it right. He said that he wants to become a global pop star and that he wants to be able to conquer different genres. So that's a very pop goal. I hope that Kate Hudson is actually able to help him in what he wants to do. Jimin did say that he wants to continue expanding. I'm not sure. The one thing about Jimin is I'm not sure if he's really targeting pop. or he's more into artistry or something like that, because he's never really verbalized it outside of exploring his own artistry. So I'm not really sure if he's becoming that if his success is kind of just a result of what he's doing, but not really something that he's pursuing. But whatever he wants to do in the future, I hope that he gets to tap and utilize the network of Kate Hudson extensively. There are some, like for example, I think V will continue towards his jazz R&B slash pop kind of direction. So I don't know if Kate Hudson is kind of well connected in that. Probably. So yeah. So whatever the BTS member, whatever BTS members want to do, I hope that Kate Hudson and Scooter Braun are able to help them. Okay. So did Hyde make money from Are You Sure? Maybe missed something. They did not mention Are You Sure? There's a lot of things that they didn't mention. They didn't mention much of Jin. They didn't mention much of BTS actually. So they just mentioned they mentioned specifically two things about BTS. Jungkook's I Am Still and J Hope's upcoming concert. And I think that was by design. Because as I've said, I don't think that they want to put BTS front and center to sort of protect them from whatever criticism or whatever it is. So I think they want that to be the less they say, the better. I think, so I think that was by design that they didn't mention anything about any of the projects that they have done. Um, because remember, this is an earnings report. This is not like a review of their achievements or anybody's achievements. It is an earnings report, and I think it is by design that they're doing that, um, sort of to leave BTS alone and allow them to finish their military service in peace. Okay, their contract with Disney Plus must have made them some money. If you watch I'm sure that it made them some money. Usually, in a partnership like this, there is a so like for example, if I produce my own stuff, right? If I produce my own series, I can and then I produce it and then I offer it to Disney Plus or Netflix or Hulu. I will most likely earn from the residuals. And that's not a lot. If you watched my interview with Don Worley, I interviewed him. I published the interview Friday. He did mention that because he has his own reality show that's running on Amazon Prime. And so I asked him like, "Oh, how much are you earning?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm earning, but it's not significant." So if it is something like that, because I don't have a name, um, I will most likely just rely on residuals in the whenever people watch my series. But if you're a group like BTS, if you have a name like BTS, you can ask for an initial payout, right? So for example, this is just an example. Disney Plus will tell them, okay, I'll pay you like $500,000. This is just an example. Or let's say $1 million. And then what happens is that they do not get paid again until after Disney Plus recovers that 1 million. After that, then they get paid something like that. So the answer to your question, did they make money? For sure. But this is a deal. This deal with Disney Plus happened. That was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and I think their contract was 5 shows. That is what they needed to deliver. So they've delivered that already. So then the down payment they got from that, they got that like years ago. But yes, so Are You Sure is actually one of the most streamed show in Disney Plus. Um, the 1456 is a troll. The 1456. But Bang Shiyuk and MHJ had a nasty breakup. They're hiding it. Why are you obsessing over like their love lives? This is funny. See, these things I find funny. Like, why are you speculating over their love lives? Like, why? I mean, I would understand if somebody's actually, if somebody's like, yeah, I know, living sweetly. I'm talking to that person before I block her. Before I block her. Like, I understand, like, if you're curious, if people are curious about the love lives of or the breakup of Taylor Swift. She's Taylor Swift, like, but Banshee, like, for you to be for you to be curious about his love life, that is so sad. It's so sad for you to be curious about his love life or whoever he's gotten a relationship with. Can't you, like, you have to elevate your taste? If you're going to speculate and like spread rumors about somebody, like, make it like Taylor Swift. You know, somebody like a bit more. I don't know, like, who's like Demi Lovato. I don't know, but why Banshee? It's like, it's so it's, I find it so funny. Like, that is so sad for you to even be like for you to even be remotely curious about it. That is so sad. Like, you have to change your target. Like, think about something else. Like, maybe um who's this new, like, Kendrick Lamar. He's very hot right now. Why do you spread rumors about Kendrick Lamar? Or maybe speculate about his love life. He's not really hiding his love life, but you get my drift. Bang Shiyu, that is so sad. So Bang Shiyu and MHJ have a love child together, have a child together. See, like, this person is so obsessing over Bang Shiyu. Like, I don't know. So Bang Shiyu can MHJ slept with Bang Shiyu. Bang Shiyu slept with MHJ. Like, I I'm not even remotely, even if you probably shove it into my face, I really wouldn't be curious about what Bang Shiuk is doing in his own time. Like, I'm just Kendrick Lamar. Me too said Kendrick Lamar is married. Okay, Kendrick Lamar is married. All right, good for him. Uh, this troll's life is miserable. It's just, it's very sad. It's really sad. If you, it's really sad. I mean, I don't know if I've ever been curious about the celebrity's love life. Maybe out of entertainment, I'd be. But like, lonely inside. Kendrick Lamar is on a high now. Give it time. Um, Give it time. People like to build celebrities up to knock them down again. Kind of what they're doing with Drake. Your time is up. Time to put you down. Okay. All right. So let's be more compassionate towards people that are obsessing about Bangshi's love life. Okay. Can you go on to the Kakao thing? Yes, I'll do that now. Let me just find that person so I can block her so that you guys don't have to be miserable having her around. Let me just look for her. Um, so there. I hope she's gone. Maybe the troll works for a gossip magazine. How sad is it that the gossip magazine is actually thinking about the love life of Bang Chiu? Right? I don't understand. Wait, do you have questions about about the earnings first before I proceed with Kakao? Teresa, hi. Hi. Hello, Oregon person. Did you read the Kakao contract? It's so bad. I know it's so bad. So, but before that, any questions about the earnings before I proceed? Only celebs love life. I was curious over in a funny way was Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo after watching The Untamed. Oh, the two, like the um boy love is what they call it, right? The Bio Explorer. Thank you. Towards group tip for LA Korean barbecue for meetup. I hope to be with you all next time. Oh, we have a tip, guys. For we can tip the restaurant. So we're all going, right? So anybody who's going with us to Korean barbecue. Okay, let's discuss that later. Let's go to Kakao first. So this was published by Top Daily just today, and hi multi-stand, and this the if you would remember Dolphiners, this is the production company owned by the director that directed many of the music videos of New Jeans. All right, so they published this story, and this they were discussing how um, Kakao ended up acquiring this company, and how much they acquired it for. All right. So the overview. This is the overview of the acquisition, and this was actually being a an entrepreneur myself. I was really shocked with the price. Now, just to be transparent about it, I have never led an acquisition. I've been a part of a team that did mergers and acquisition, but I've never led an acquisition. In other words, I was basically given tasks, and I would do the tasks, but I did not lead the negotiation and whatever. I've witnessed the negotiation, but I did not have power in that table. Okay. The Bio Explorer said, "Don't forget, Bang Shiok is my target." Okay. All right. So, on October 2021, Kakao purchased Dolphiners Films for $20.91 million. The guy in the picture is the CEO of Dolphiners, and this is the director of the music videos of New Jeans. Okay. So this is the guy that Min Hee Jin was in a professional partnership with. Okay. I don't know what other kind of partnerships that they're pursuing. I'm just interested in the professional partnership one. So he really likes this guy. She talked about him several times. She said that they sat down for a meeting one time, and she really admired his disposition, how he doesn't want to get jaded by the industry, and that's why she decided to partner with him. And this is the kind of people that she likes working with. Okay, so his name is Shin Woo Sok. So this is the thing, they were acquired by Kakao back in October 2021 for 20.9 million. So, and this was a 100% purchase, so meaning they bought everything. So Shin Woo-sok was supposed to continue and is continuing as a CEO, but the company now is fully owned by Kakao. All right. The thing is that at that time in October 2021, Dolphiners wasn't working with New Jeans yet. They were really new, and they were doing mostly music videos and commercials. And this is a production company. Okay, this is a production company. In other words, like for example, if you're working for an advertising agency and you need to do a commercial, that usually an advertising company does not have an in-house capability, a shooting team. So they would bid out to different production companies, and whoever wins the bid, then they would end up using that production company to shoot. So this is one of those production companies. So they were very new in 2021. They were just incorporated at that time. And here is the punchline. The initial capital was $69.70. $70 is the initial capital. That is how much he put into the business. So this was incorporated by Shin Woo-sok, that guy. So in other words, the valuation of the company went up 300,000 times. And at the time of the acquisition, this company, the production company, had an annual revenue of 5.86 million US dollars. But this is gross. This is not net. This is gross. Operating profit of $487,000 and EBITDA estimated at 697 US dollars. So EBITDA is before taxes. So that means, so assuming that you're going to purchase the company based on their EBITDA, that means that Kakao purchased them 30 times the EBITDA of the company. Add to that the fact that when he started the company, he only put in $70. Fire Butterfly, what am I missing? What is $70? This is the initial capital that Shin Woo Sok put in the Dolphiners production company. That's how much the initial capital is, $70. 69.70. That's the initial capital. So by 2021, during that purchase, at the time that Kakao purchased them, they were making some money. So as I've said, the annual gross sales, this is gross, okay, 5.86 million. So gross meaning that goes to, they pay their suppliers, people, and whatever. So the operating profit is $5,487,000, and their EBITDA was $697,000. But they were purchased. Remember how much Kakao purchased them for? They were purchased for 20.91 million. From an EBITDA of $697,000, they were purchased for $20.91. So I don't know. I am not a billionaire, but I can tell you flat and straight that they overpaid. You do not pay. You don't buy a company with an EBITDA of $697,000 and you buy them for 20.91 million. Okay, so Celeste said, she's on Twitch. She said, all I can say is that he must be good at talking quick. If you double your EBITDA and that's how much a company purchases you, that is usually already good. You triple that, that's even better. Like that. But for you to be purchased 30 times your EBITDA, 30 times your EBITDA, my God. Now, this happened during the time when Kakao Entertainment merged with the music platform Melon. So this is during the same time as well. So at that time, Kakao was really acquiring companies, different companies left and right. Okay. So I know that the main question is how did it happen? Why would somebody actually buy the company for that much, right? Yeah, that's what we're going to try and answer. So um around the same time, so when they merged with Melon, they also acquired other companies, which to a lot of businessmen, a lot of economists, a lot of finance people, business people, they were all overpriced. Gline, Studio Joe, Glink Media, these are production companies. And look at what they paid for this. I mean, for production companies, for you to be paying 39 million, 12.55 million, 6.97 million for a production company. Remember that for the production company, the thing about paying for a production company for this much is that they don't really have a product, right? They don't have a product. They don't have an IP that you can make money out of. They don't have a product that you can sell. These are just people creating videos for other people. So for you to acquire them this much, my God. So anyway, during that time, Kakao was already acquiring left and right, and they were really overpaying a lot of other companies. So, however, they weren't that stupid. They had a payback clause and the risk management clause in their contract. What does that mean? It means that part of the money that they paid the company has to be invested back into Kakao. Okay. So, for example, if you have a business, if I'm Kakao and you have a business and I'm buying the business, including you, meaning you as a professional in that company, I am going to tell you that 50% of the money that I am paying you, you have to invest back into me, my own company, through stocks. Okay. So in the contract that they had, Shin Woo Sok had to reinvest 11.15 million US dollars of the acquisition money. So remember, they were bought for million US dollars. In the contract, 11.15 has to be invested back into Kakao. So in reality, Shin Wusok actually only received 90.76 million US dollars, which is not as bad as 20 million, but still a lot for a production company. That's one. Second, he still have ownership of part ownership as a stockholder of Kakao. So still a good deal for him, and that's still for me a losing proposition for Kakao. Okay, now Kakao also included a clause that required Dolphin, and this is key, in their acquisition in the contract that they signed. Kakao included a clause that required Dolphins Films to generate 12.55 million US dollars operating profit by 2026, ensuring a return on investments. Okay, so they had to they had to so for those that are on Twitch, I am able to block them on um I'm able to block them on YouTube and on restream chat, but I don't see any capability for me to block them um on Twitch. So I think you're gonna have to block the person on Twitch if you're seeing that person. Okay, on Twitch. All right. So just as a review, Shin Woo Sok, in the contract that he signed with Kakao, he had to invest 11.15 million back into Kakao through stocks, meaning he took home 9.76 million US dollars. Still a lot of money. Kakao also included a clause that required Dolphins to generate 12.55 million by 2026, ensuring the return in their investment. What is not clear is the consequence. Like, so, for example, if Dolphins does not generate that much money, what happens? Is he going to pay? Is it what happens? What happens? That is not clear on the article. Okay. Okay. So now the question: why are people making a big deal out of this article? So sorry. So aside from Dolphins, they also acquired Baram Pictures, and at that time when Baram Pictures was acquired, they had no revenue, zero revenue, and they were in a financial trouble. Now, Kakao said that they were purchasing it because of the artists that are signed under Baram. They wanted those talents. That it was their justification. Currently, Kakao executives are on trial for breach of trust due to alleged financial misconduct on this deal. Because why would you buy a company that's losing money? So these are the issues that people are raising. An answered question about the valuation. Kakao Entertainment has not disclosed how it calculated Dolphin's group's valuation. They only said that the company that they actually based it on the potential and not just on the current earning. Okay, so that's one. They said, no, we didn't just base it on the current earning. We based it on the potential, which is understandable if it is an IP that you're buying or a product. But if you're buying into, again, a service centered industry that is not exactly revolutionary, that's very, very questionable. Okay, so next question. There's a high acquisition cost. There's a payback structure that reduces the risks. But now remember, the contract states that he needed to make the money back by 2026. Working with New Jeans would justify why they were purchased that much, right? But all this purchase, the acquisition happened before New Jeans. But the question is, all these things that Shin Woo Sok was doing together with Min Hee Jin, was this so that they could guarantee that Dolphins will actually meet the minimum income that's indicated in the contract? Is this why Min? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Is that clear? In the contract, they are required to make a certain amount of money by 2026. And it's not easy to make that much money just by producing music videos or movies, it's not easy. If he was able to acquire or get new jeans to his camp, then he would have met the minimum revenue that's indicated in the contract. So that's one theory. Second is this why, another question that people are asking, is this why Min Hee-jin is so impressed with Shin Woo-sok and was trying to do what Shin Woo-sok was able to do with his company in Kakao. In other words, Shin Woo-sok was able to sell his company with for a much higher price to Kakao. Was that the model that Min Hee-jin was trying to copy with a door? She wanted to be able to get a door and all the value that comes with it, specifically new jeans, without really sweating it out, the same way Shin Woo-sok was able to do it with Dolphins. So those are the two major issues, and those are the two major questions that people are asking. Okay, because remember, New Jeans contract is worth in the early valuation, it was around $500 million. So if they manage to get New Jeans into Dolphins, then they would have recovered. They would have met the minimum amount of revenue required in the contract between Kakao and Dolphins. Okay. All right. So is that clear? Was there did that confuse you even more? Um, let's look for questions. Fire Butterfly said maybe, but the money doesn't seem right. You mean the amount of money that Kakao paid for Dolphins? So the other angle is that apparently the person um, involved in the stock manipulation of SM Entertainment, that guy is the same person that's involved in this deal. So he was the one taking the lead in the acquisition. This is the same guy that manipulated the stock price of SM to ensure that HYBE this so to ensure that HYBE loses that bid for SM Entertainment. So it's the same guy. And he's also the same guy that led the acquisition of Baron Pictures, the one that was losing money and the one that they are in trouble for because of illegal practices. So it's this same guy. It blows me away that if they don't meet their target, the employees don't get paid. Like what? um, yeah. So that is why many were speculating that he was really desperate to try and keep the business of Min Hee-jin of New Jeans because it was going to guarantee that he was going to meet the target by 2026. And as you know, they were making moves to actually move New Jeans out of a door. Okay. Um, do you think though that Kakao took advantage of these small companies? No, I think oh yes. So I do think that they took advantage, meaning Kakao as a whole took advantage. Like people inside Kakao actually took advantage of these small companies. But also I think that guy who was leading the acquisition, which is the same guy that manipulated that led the manipulation of the stock price of SM Entertainment to ensure HYBE loses, he I think had more to gain. So I think it is like I'm 100%, not 100% sure. I'm 90% sure that he had a lot to gain in the deals that he was closing, that he was leading, in the acquisitions that he was leading. Okay. Someone said that her brain was like doing a 404 error. um okay, so let's look for questions. Queen Vasha said makes sense now why he was lying about a door, asking them to remove certain videos. What a house of cards built on quicksand. This is one hot chance said Wolf of Wall Street, Kakao edition. Um, so he's in debt. No, no, he's not in debt. He actually got a lot more in the deal, but I think what he wanted to do was to guarantee that he will meet the minimum revenue by working with New Jeans or by getting New Jeans out of a door and be transferred to his company. I think that's what he wanted to do. But he already earned $9.7 million. So that's how much he took home after the acquisition. So, well, okay, so he paid taxes, he probably gave some to his employees, some he probably has some debts or whatever. But still a lot of money that he was able to take home. Okay. Question from Fire Butterfly: when all this washes, doesn't this mean massive washes financially for numerous companies in the future? Oh yeah, I think this is going to it, the my a huge chunk of this is going to fall in the shoulders of Kakao. Um, they already are in a lot of legal trouble, right? Their CEO and their founder is actually getting sued right now. He was in jail for 3 months or something like that because of all the charges against him. So I think the major thing that they need to do is really review what's happening in that company. He keeps on insisting that he had no idea that his employees, that the vice president who manipulated the stock price was actually manipulating the stock price. That's his defense. He did not know about it. So if that is the case, then dude, do you not have any hold of your own company for these things to happen to you? Right. So he definitely it that's the one thing. Like he himself has to really go through and examine what's happening in his company. Why are they acquiring all of these companies? Like one, you acquire one company at a loss, a company that's losing money, I understand. With practically no asset. I understand one, maybe two, although that's extremely unlikely. uh, but if you do three, four, five, you're acquiring all of these companies that are losing money. There's something absolutely wrong. So how come he didn't know about this? If it is true that he had no idea these things were happening. Dodger Girl said, CEOs owners always knows. Queen Vasha, guess he needs to do a company audit. I guess he needs to do a company audit. um where is that? Wait, there's one question I need. A comment. Bang Luna said either he's a crook or he's inept. One of those two, or both. I did not know MHJ went to SM before. Yeah, he was with SM prior to HYBE. Prior to working with HYBE. Oh, went back? No, he has. She hasn't went back. She hasn't gone back to SM. Not that I know of. She hasn't gone back. She hasn't really talked much, and I think that's for a reason. That's intentional because of all the moves that um, New Jeans are making. New Jeans members are making. I think she wants to keep her distance so that she doesn't get involved in any kind of um, legal trouble. So I think she's really laying low so that people would think that whatever New Jeans is doing, they're just doing it all by themselves and she's not involved in it. Um, Evie said, I appreciate this live so much. I'm learning so much. Thank you. That's my goal for us to learn. New Jeans used to mint money, but HYBE screwed it up. New Jeans used to mint money, but HYBE screwed it up. Like they were earning a lot of money and HYBE screwed it up. I guess you're a New Jeans fan. That's my guess. Okay, how are they going to get all this investment money back? You mean Kakao? So they won't. The only way they're going to get all this investment back is if the companies that they purchase start earning money. which they haven't done. So that's the only way. Unless they, even if there's really nothing they can do, even if they sue the company and they sue the person, what is the person like? What are they going to do? Are they going to just cough up the money that they need to pay? Okay. You have to have a certain degree of business savvy to be a CEO of that big of a company. To believe he didn't know would be pushing credulity to the limit. I kind of agree. I kind of agree. But you also have to give him the benefit of the doubt. He claimed he does not know. So um, just give them $70. Just give them $70. When okay. Uh, I'm reading through the comments because I know there's like I blocked him already, but I know there's one more troll. So I'm looking for that person. If you find that other person, but the guy that you're using an ad for, I already blocked. But if there's one, I know there's one more, but I can't find that person yet. Giving my dog a screen time. He's just like he likes being cute. And he's a little pissed because I haven't played with him for 2 days. Although my mom has. So he's been playing fetch with my mom. Is MHJ connected to any of this? Well, that's what we were discussing. One is that so that was a smart move. I mean, regardless of what you think about what happened, um whether Kakao overpaid or whatever, the mere fact that he managed to sell his company to Kakao for 20 million, that takes a lot of smarts. So one question that a lot of people are asking is that one people that a lot of people one thing one question that a lot of people are asking is this why Min Hee Jin is so enamored of this guy, of Shin Woo Sok, because of that move? And was she trying to do the same for um for was she trying to copy what she did, Angel Star for Debak? Love for Debak. Was she trying to do the same for was she trying to repeat the success that he's had in selling his company? So that's the question. And then was all this plan to try and take New Jeans out of a door and into another company? Was that part of the plan of Shin Woo Sok to ensure that he is going to meet the required minimum income or revenue indicated in the contract? Okay. Did Min Hee Jin ever return the laptop? No. She did not. She has not. She has not. Okay, Dodger Girl, random question. Where is Mr. Lee with HYBE? He's not with Jin in Milan. So, yes, we, or at least I would like to know. My God, Mr. Lee has his own fandom. Um, okay, so any questions about that? I want to discuss the uh, Seoul Korea tour. It's not just Seoul actually, but I want to discuss that because I really why are you hot? You want to go down? I think he wants to go down. You want to go down? Say bye bye to everybody. Bye bye. He wants to go down. You smell, baby. You smell. I need to shower you. Okay. So he's gonna get a bath because I have an interview on Friday and I usually bring him, and people like hugging him in the studio. So I need to bath him. I need to bathe him before Friday. Okay. So um, we're talking about Mr. Lee. Everyone is looking for Mr. Lee. Where is Mr. Lee? If he's not with Jin, where is he? Okay. Yeah, bye bye Debak already. He is under the bed. All right. So this is my plan. I want to go with everybody, everyone who can join. October, November, December, or sorry, October, November, December, one of those months. If BTS has something like an activity or something around that time, I want to go to Seoul. I want to go to Korea and watch whatever it is that they're going to be doing, participate. But also, if anybody can, oh, Cindy has been asking this question because the other day I went live on IG while Debak was trying to catch a squirrel. He was harassing a squirrel. And so, as you know, Hobie, that's J Hope. That's J Hope symbol. No, he didn't. He didn't. But Debak harassed him for like a good hour and a half. So Debak had a good time, and he had a good time too because he was egging my dog on to try and catch him. Okay, so for the BTS theme tour, that's my plan. October, November, December. If they have an activity, if they have something going on during that time, I want to go and participate in the activity and or also go around. And if anybody can join, let's go. Let's do a BTS tour. These are the things that, and also someone actually asked me, like, I think someone is going there um next month or something, so they're asking for recommendations as to where to go. Okay, so one, this is what I would suggest right on day one, because you want to go to the places where it all began. And also, these three places are all in the same area. The restaurant that they frequented, the old building, this is the very first office of Big Hit, and their very first dormitory. It's all within walking distance. So, the best time to go to the restaurant where they usually had their meals when they were trainees, it's usually before lunch, so like 10:30, 11. That's the best time, because then there's not a lot of people yet, because people usually start coming at right like 12:30, 1 o'clock. So if you want to not have to fall in line, you can just go right before lunch. So just take an early lunch, in other words. Okay. And then it doesn't really matter where you sit, because BTS members have sat in all of those tables. And all, but the most, I think, frequently they would sit like the closest. If you ask the store owner, she would tell you where they would usually sit. And then if you want to sit there, you can either wait and somebody's still sitting, then you can either wait or just choose another place in the restaurant. So so this is like on the very first day. Do this already. You will spend like in the restaurant probably a good hour, and then going to the old building and the first dorm that they had is probably a good like um another hour, because you're gonna walk, take pictures, rest a little bit, and then go to the next location. So depending on what time you start going around, you also might want to go to the Line store in Itaewon, because this is the birthplace of all BT21 characters. So this has a special place in my heart, in everybody's heart, because this is where BTS went to create the characters. This is where they shot that episode when they were creating the characters, which we all know they created right in front of the camera. So they actually recorded it. Jelma is asking, Fairlane, Ate, you going to be the official tour guide? Sure. Actually, my hope is for for us to have like, I hope that the group is big enough to rent a mini bus at the very least, and not a van, because it's just more comfortable if it's a bus. Okay. The Nepo babies. No ballet tricks. So ballet tricks is actually calling BT21 the Nepo babies. So the it's actually Tiny Tan. This guy's grinded. They worked for their success. So this is a little farther from where the original dorm is. So depending on traffic, especially if it's a bus, it's not as fast as taking a subway. But if you don't want to be um, but if you don't want to be like harassed, or if you want to be just relaxed, then just, if we can rent a minibus, then that's better. um, okay, so go to the line store in Itaewon because that's the birthplace, okay, of BT21 characters. Jan is saying, sorry for this, but I have a Chicago J-Hope concert ticket for sale. Section 112, row A. I will be in Chicago on the 15th of March at Holiday Inn Express if you want a ticket in Chicago. All right. If you want, I can post that in my Twitter if you tweet that to me, or if you send that message on Patreon. Okay. So that's one. You can do that in the same day you do the restaurants, the original restaurants. And you can also squeeze this in the same day. If you want to go to the SNU, to this Seoul National University in SNU, which you can if you have your own transportation, you won't be so tired. The empty swimming pool is where they shot the most beautiful moment in life. Okay. So that's this is that I think is a full day already, just from the traveling, and also because you're going to be walking around taking pictures and whatever. So the best way um to end your day would be to go to the restaurant of Jin's brother. So I've been to the restaurant of Jin's brother, and this is where it is. This is where I went. I don't know if they changed location or if they just changed the interior of the restaurant. But the more recent pictures, it actually looks like this, the one above. And this is not what it looks like when we went. So again, I'm not sure if they just changed the interior or if they actually moved to a new location. But it is one of the best restaurants I've ever been to. Now, I don't eat beef and I don't eat pork. So I think I ended up having vegetables and fish. And my niece, sometimes I call my daughter, she was the one who had meat, and she said it's really one of the best ever. So this is the best way to end the day. And then after that, yes, they moved. Jazzy J said they moved. And after that, you can rest. Okay. Or if you want to go for some shopping, you can also go to the terminal, Central Terminal, because that's a good shopping place to get souvenirs or shop for clothes or whatever. The next day, you can go to the third dorm that they had, which was converted into a cafe. All right. It's a beautiful, beautiful cafe. And it's better to go early, because if you go like 3 4 p.m., they run out of pastries, and they have the best pastries. I posted pictures in my Patreon when I went there. So if you're going to so Lindsay's asking what's the realistic budget for this. I'll go through that later. So if you want to go there and really be able to like taste, eat and enjoy, then go early. Like make this your brunch or something. Okay. And then you can also go to Cafe Farben, which is not close. This is not close to the third dormitory, which was converted into a cafe. So Cafe Farben is not close, but it's a beautiful place. And usually you will see the sister of RM. Just please be respectful. So when I went there, I saw her. I got so excited. So I was like, hi, can I take a picture with you? And she declined because it was around 4, and she said she didn't feel pretty. That's the only reason. She was like, I don't feel pretty. She said, I've been working since 7. So I was like, I understand, right? So, but she was so nice. Like after, so we sat down. My mom and my niece, we were all having our pastries and whatever. And she went over, like she went to us and she's like, "Oh, did you like the food? You know, anything else I can get you?" She was really, really, really nice. So it's this is actually, you can see this is the entire restaurant. This is the entire cafe. So it's not a big one, but she works the counter and she actually makes coffee. So she was really, really tired. Okay. And then for you can go to the HYBE building, the current HYBE building. So HYBE Insight, which is the museum where all the trophies and other souvenirs of BTS members are, is closed for now. I don't know if they will reopen it, but for now it's closed. But you can go there, just go outside the building and go around, walk around. It's a good area to walk around. Um, and then you can go to Hakdong Park. So this is where they went. This is where the famous screaming of RM happened. Um, so if that's, you can do this in the same day. These places are not close to each other, by the way. So yeah, does RM sister speak fluent English? Uh, she well enough for her to understand because I was talking to her in English and she was responding to me in English. So and when she went to us, you can see that she was shy, but she was speaking in English. She didn't talk to us in Korean. So well enough for her to communicate to us in English. You can also go to Uido, which is where the first fan meet of BTS happened. So this is another important place for BTS. They had like 20 people there. Now they have 20 million, more than 20 million. But it's also a good place for you to go to. And then after this, you can also go to the Han River. So you can spend the night there. You can have picnic in Han River. You can rent picnic baskets and you can rent bikes if you want. It's a huge, huge place. The Han River is a huge place. So the first time I went to Han River and hanged out, that was the day. So that was, I don't remember how many times which trip it was, but it was the trip when my niece watched Stray Kids, and that is also why that was why I went there to accompany her to watch Stray Kids. But she watched 2 days. On the second day, I did not go with her. She didn't buy me tickets for the second day, and I just hanged out in Han River. So I rented a bike, just went around. There were a lot of families doing picnics and whatever. So I covered as much of it as I can, but it's really big. But yeah, you should also go there as well. Okay. Also, you should go to the Gyeokbonggong Palace. So this palace, you can actually rent a hanbok. So around the palace, outside of it, around the area, there are different places, stores where you can rent the hanbok. And if you walk in the palace wearing a hanbok, then you can actually, then they will not charge you a fee. You can go in for free. So I did that together with my niece and my cousin. Yeah, she's my cousin. So we went there. So we were wearing hanbok. It was fun. And it was also cold at that time. So it was perfect. You can rent the hanbok for the whole day. You can go around Seoul wearing a hanbok if you want. As long as you give it back because they are going to hold, I mean, they're going to, you need the deposit. They won't return the deposit if you don't return the handbook. So this is where they performed several times. So you have to go there as well. Also, because if you're going there, I'm assuming that you're not just going there because you want to see the places BTS have been, right? You also want to learn a little bit more about the history of Seoul and like see their culture and architecture, stuff like that. Okay. So I don't know if you will be able to cover all of that in one day, but you can try. Then you should also go to the National Museum of Korea where they performed their class of 2021, I think. So this is a huge, huge place. I like going to museums when I go to a country because I feel like that's where it's kind of like a crash course in the history of a country. So you will be able to spend like an entire day here, or at least half a day. So you can take pictures, recreate their song, their performance in this venue. But it's a huge place, big. Like, you don't go there and then leave. Make sure that you enter, get to know the history of South Korea. Okay. And then you have to go to the Yongin Park, which is outside of Seoul. All right. So I actually mentioned this in my Patreon. I went here and I posted a video and some pictures of my trip. One of the major error that we made is that we did not rent a car when we went here, and this is outside of Korea. So going there was around. So we commuted. We took the bus, we took the train, and it was around 2.5 hours to 3 hours going one way. So around 6 hours back and forth. So I went there. This is like, think Disneyland. They shoot a lot of music videos and dramas and TV shows here. This is where Jewels in the Palace was actually shot. And when you go there, it is better to either stay in the area, like get a hotel for a day or for a night, and then or you rent a car so that you can go here and you can go to another palace where BTS did their. You remember that Run episode where Jimin said, "It's sad that we can't even trust our members." I love it. Do you remember that? It's heartbreaking that we can't trust our members. And he said, "I love it." And they were wearing hanbok. So that was shot. The location of that is very close to this one. Not very close, but close to this one. It's in the same area. But if you are not going to have your own transportation, it's almost impossible to cover both place in one. So, oh, Bang Luna is going by Bang Luna. So make sure that you either rent a car or you check in a hotel in that area so you're not rushing. Because in the province, when it's outside of Seoul, buses are unpredictable. Like, the arrival and leaving is so unpredictable. Okay. All right. So that's another one. Of course, you have to go to Busan. You have to go to Busan and go to Z Millennial. And that's not the only place that you should be visiting in Busan. There's other places to go in Busan. The beach is really great. There's a lot of cafes to visit, a lot of cafes to go to. You should also visit. There's this one like area there where there's a lot of restaurants, shopping. It's a shopping area. You should visit that as well, especially at night. They close it, so pedestrians get to use the road all by themselves. So when we went there, we saw this boy band member doing like shooting something, like shooting for a show, for a reality show, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it's also a beautiful place. So definitely Z Millennial. And it's such a chill place. You can actually stay like for an entire morning, do some work, read, take a nap, whatever. And of course, you definitely have to go to in the soup where they did the show in the soup. So you can actually rent the entire place, but you can't just rent one area. You have to rent the entire area if you want to stay there. So staying there like maybe 2 nights would be great, right? So make that your closing of the trip. Go back to Seoul, catch the plane, and go home. But I think like this would be the perfect last place to visit. Magnate is now Z Millennial, so they changed their name. So don't call that Magnate anymore. The other thing that you can do, if you want, is from Busan, go to Daegu. Daegu is such a beautiful province. It's like a valley, um, but there's like a lot of museums you can go to, a lot of great eating places like restaurants and stuff. So a lot of hiking areas. So that's another thing that you can go if you have enough time. But for me, like if it's your if you want to maximize it and you want to go to this location in the soup, might as well go Busan, go here, and then go home. So um, the place has to be very expensive though. A little, yeah. But like if it's an entire group, it's going to be affordable because there's like 8 rooms. Eight? Wait, I think 10. No, sorry. So there were 10 rooms. So this two houses that you see on your screen right now, um that is where they stayed, the members of BTS. But there's another house where the crew stayed. So in total, there's like 10. Fair Lane, how long is this proposed trip to SK? At least if you want to be able to cover all of that, at least 2 weeks. If you want to cover all of that, if you want to go to Seoul, go to all of those places, go to Busan, and then go to In the Soup and stay there for at least 2 nights, maybe three, at least 2 weeks, because your first day and your last day is gone, right? Usually that's how it goes. Your first day and last day is gone. You land, and then there are other things that you need to do, like shop for something or whatever. All of those things, if you put together the incidentals, all of those put together, that's like another day. And then there's one actually that I forgot. If you want to do pottery, where they did the pottery, so it's also in Gangnam, and you just need to schedule in advance. So Seoul itself is probably like 4 to 5 days, right? Then you go to Busan, that's another 3 days. And then if you go here, that's another 3 days. So, and then again, the first day and the last day is gone. So that's at least 2 weeks. That is assuming there's not like a concert that you need to go to. Right? So, yeah, at least 2 weeks. So that's my dream. That's my dream. I hope that, if there's the thing is that it's all hinging on BTS's activity. If they have something going on October, November, December, it's hinged on that. And then so I won't make any plans until we know what they're actually doing. um so if that happens, I hope that I pull enough people. Because here's the thing, regardless, I'm gonna go. And my mom and my niece and I are going to go around, right? So it's just a matter of, will I be able to go around with you guys or not? Okay. um from Cali, oh wait, from Cali with love, I'm very tempted. Can I tempt you more? What can I do to tempt you more? Fairlane, when will we be putting this fall trip together? As I've said, like, because it's hinged on BTS, I want to go when there is a BTS activity. So, or maybe just go. So my niece, so she wants to go like fall. She already told me, like, she said she wants to go. So we're gonna go regardless in the fall. So I guess the planning will take place summer. So everyone's going to be together. I don't know when they're going to announce. That's the other thing. Like, I don't know when they're going to announce all the activities that they're going to have. So most likely my niece is going to start planning August. She would want to start planning August. So right around August. That's the answer to your question. I saw it on Klook bus tour. I think spent 2 hours in the location. So there is a Klook tour. Yes, there's a tour where you're just going to ride on the, like, just go there for a day, look, and then go home and not stay. So what I want to do is stay. I actually want to stay there. So that's my bucket list. Um Z said, I literally live through you guys. Well, you're just gonna have to make it happen. Uh Fire butterfly, be careful not to burn yourself. Stretch between dunkings and between sets. Who is it? Who broke whatever? Did they break what? Sprain? Strain? What happened? So might be a very last minute trip. Not very last minute. Probably August and you're planning for November, December. So I don't know if you call that last minute. I guess for some people that's last minute. But yeah, because I'm like waiting for BTS, right? I don't want to go there. This is the one thing that I would hate to happen. I make plans, make reservations November, and then they do something December. So um quick and easy care. Hello Fairlane. I am finally ready to open my YouTube channel. Like I told you, so excited and stressed. Let me know if I can help. Let me know if I can help. I am sure you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be a learning process. You're going to enjoy it, but it's going to be worth your while. Okay. Okay, so isn't Korea cold in December? Snow. It's cold in December, colder in January, colder in February, bearable March. And then it's going to start getting warm. So yes, but I do love the cold. The last time you were there, during December, the last time we went there, December, was about 3 years ago, I guess. I think this was before pandemic. So it was really, really cold, but I love it because I can bear the cold. I love the cold. I absolutely hate the heat. And also my body can't just take it. It's not me just hating it. It's just my body not able to take it. Carla girl, have you thought to contact the South Korea offices here in LA to tell about your pending trip? You may get discounts. I may, yeah. I think it's like yes. I may get discounts, yes. I most likely may not be able to go, but I wished for it. You can. You definitely can. Don't think that you can't. Just start with you can and make plans. Like start working on actually going. Okay, so Robin Carr, we will probably know some of their plans in time. So um Cindy said, I expect a lot of videos and pictures from this trip, especially if you see the boys. Yes. So what I haven't actually even posted the exhibit of Jimin. I intend to do that. I'm sorry. It's just a lot of things going on. But I will post the videos that I took of the exhibit of Jimin. And also when I went to the pop-up of Jimin, I haven't posted that. And I think I have even posted the exhibit of V. All right. So um Marina is reminding us, if you're planning to do special activities or tours, make sure you book in advance. BTS tours are hard to book last minute. Yeah. I think if we can pull enough people, we can just rent it can be a special arrangement, because if it's enough people, they'll like customize the entire thing with whatever we want to do. So, okay. Hoan said if we share rooms, it wouldn't be as expensive. For the in the soup, yes. They do have a limit on the number of people that can check in though. That they do have a limit. But like me, my mom, my niece and I, there's already three people. So I'm just gonna have to check like how many can actually stay in the place. But yeah, Mar Mariel Nes Perez, I can only consider if your mom is going. My mom is going for sure. She goes with me everywhere. Okay, Kat Eddie, I think that the best moment in life is going to take up a lot of the rest of the year. Probably. I kind of agree. Okay, so that's my plan. All right. I hope that you guys can join. But as I've said, since my niece already told me that she does want to go to Korea November, or last quarter of this year, regardless, I'm going. So it's just a matter of, am I going to, in that trip, will I be seeing BTS and will I be able to do all of this or not? Like if it's just the three of us, if it's just my mom and my niece, I don't think we can rent this place because it's going to be way too expensive, right? Unless, I don't know, I win the lotto tomorrow, then I'm going to be paying for all of your airfare so we can all go. But I don't think that's going to happen. So because I don't buy lotto. But yeah, so that's the plan. Since she wants to go regardless, then I'm just gonna go, and then it's just a matter of whether or not I can make this, like, this entire itinerary possible with you guys. Like, if it's just the three of us, will since we've gone to a lot of these places, then we'll probably go to Daegu, because there's a lot of places in Daegu that we haven't gone. We'll probably go to Jeju as well, and we're probably gonna go to Ilsan because I want to go to the place where RM grew up. um, okay, 29 more hours till Hobie's first concert. Okay, so to on Friday, I'm going to interview the entertainment lawyer. I don't know if I can stream it live. But if you have questions for the entertainment lawyer, so he specializes in contracts, IPs, trademarks, international agreements between artists and managers, concerts, all of those things, anything about entertainment. If you have any questions, go to Patreon. I posted his profile, and you can ask. Just leave a comment on the question that you want to ask, and I'll ask him on Friday. I'm very excited for this interview. So that, and then the other thing that I need to remind you of is that please make sure that you stream Who, because if he makes it inside Billboard Hot 100 next week, he will officially tie the record of Gangnam Style, Size Gangnam Style. And as we all know, I think we all know by now that that song was actually pushed by Scooter Braun. So it would be a great achievement for Jimin if he can do it on his own, meaning he's not getting pushed by somebody big in the US. Also, please stream LV Bag and the new single of J Hope. So I am not sure. So there is a music video for the new single of J Hope. I am not sure if I will see the location where I saw him. So I will not reveal the location. First, I want to go and see if it's going to appear in the music video. So please stream that. So okay, so on Facebook, IG, on X, there are people who are funding so that you can help rank this songs inside Billboard Hot 100. So there are two types of funding. You can either go and stream, help them stream, in which case they're going to give you an account, and that account already has a playlist, and that is the playlist that you need to use. Okay, and that is fair and square because they're funding for a specific song, right? Okay, the other option is for you to help in sales. So you're going to buy digital, usually the digital copies, and you'll help in the streaming, in the ranking for Billboard Hot 100. So there are different accounts. I recommended one on X because I've been seeing her tweets a lot, and she's not toxic. She doesn't wage war against the other members. She's OT7, and she's funding for J Hope now because he has a new single. So don't forget about that. Now, the other option is for you to avail of the free subscription, the promo, the trial of different streaming platforms like Tidal, um, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. So if you just take advantage of those, you will be able to use it for a month, and you can help in streaming and ranking inside Billboard Hot 100, which we need. We actually need premium streams. So please do all of that. Okay. So I think those are the things that I need to remind everybody. In the next live, we haven't done that in a while. I'm going to track the ranking of Billboard. I mean, we're going for the billion streams. So I haven't shown you the developments of the number of streams of the songs. I'll do that in the next live. So I don't think I can do a live stream on Friday because I am doing the interview. So I guess I will see you Monday. Do you have questions? I have Spotify and Pandora Premium and playlists, but I will probably move on to Amazon after my Pandora trial is up, according to the Buy Explorer. Pandora is good. Sorry, Amazon is good. I like it. It's user friendly. Um, my mom wants her own streaming account, so I don't know if I'm gonna get Spotify for her, just so we have a Spotify in this household. But okay, do you have any questions? I have 1 minute left before we hit the 2 hour mark. Can we also, A Brown is asking, can we also increase the streams for winter ahead so it gets the jazz record for fastest to 1B? Its streams keep going down and still a new song. Okay, so we're going for the jazz record, the fastest jazz song to get to 1B. Who are we competing with? Nora Jones? That's a guess. That's a guess. So who are we competing with? Didn't Jin just have a new release from a recent K drama too? Oh, the yes. So all of this you can stream, people, because even if, so for now I'm still pushing Who because it's still inside Billboard Hot 100. So I'm going to alternate that with the new release Sweet Dreams. But you, all of these songs you can all stream because you shouldn't be playing the song consecutively, because that's just going to get flushed. They're going to mark you a bot. So all the songs you can stream, you can stream in one playlist. You can put in one playlist. Okay, and then 103 days left. I think in my next live we will be down to two digits in our countdown, right? Um, Bikra Cosmos. I would like to join you for Hobie LA. You mean in the suite, or you mean you want to go to Korean barbecue with us? What do you mean? So go to Patreon. Go to Patreon. So we're making plans in Patreon for Korean barbecue, other activities. So I really want to meet you guys. I think I've mentioned this before. I will never take your support for granted. So no matter what happens with the brand, no matter what happens with the channel, no matter what happens in the future, I want to have like a direct connection with you, um, so that we're always connected, right? So whatever gains I make in this channel, I will be able to like share with you. Like whatever blessings I get through this channel, I want to be able to share with you all. That's why I want to make a direct connection. Okay. Um, all right. So please register in my Patreon so we can always stay connected. Okay. We are on past our 2 hour mark. Thank you, everybody. Good night. And I'll see you in the next stream. Bye.